Hello, welcome to Linux Hub. Guys, this is my first video on multi-partition in Linux. Now let's start with first step by creating a new virtual machine. Select Linux operating system and Ubuntu 64-bit version. Now click next and name your virtual machine. Click next again and let's suppose select the maximum disk size to be 50 GB. Click on Customize Hardware to select the RAM and number of processors as required. Also select the location where you have placed your ISO image. Let's move to our step 2, power on the virtual machine and live boot the ISO image. Now live CD is ready to work. This video is based on multi-partition in Linux with LVM over LUKS. Open the gparted application. Now first of all we are going to create partitions, that is SDA1 for boot and SDA2 for rest of the data. Use the lsblk command to see the hard disk size. Here we have 50 GB hard disk for our virtual machine. We can see here named with SDA. Now we are going to use gparted. Click on device to create the partition table. Now select MS-DOS as a partition table type. First of all we are going to create partition for boot. 500 MB is enough for boot partition. It should be a primary partition and file system type should be ext for Linux. Name the label for boot partition, that is boot. Now create a new partition too. Allocate the rest of the space to this partition. This partition should be an extended partition. We are going to create a logical volume under this extended partition. To save all the operations, click on apply. You can use the lsblk command to see that you have successfully created the partitions. Our first step of partitioning is completed and we have created two partitions, one for boot and second for data. In next step, I am going to tell you that how to encrypt the data partition by using encrypt setup. Use the encrypt setup command. Encrypt setup LUKS format, define the hash size and the key size and the name of the partition, that is SDA5. Type yes and enter. It will prompt you for the passphrase. Set the passphrase for the encryption and then verify passphrase. Next command is crypt setup open. Type crypt setup open dev sd5 the partition name and then the volume name. Here I am going to name the volume as crypt LVM. It will prompt you for the passphrase. Enter the passphrase that you have set for the encryption. To prepare logical volumes, enter the following command. Create the logical volume group and name the logical volume group. Here I have named the volume group as volume. So in short, pv create command is used to prepare a logical volume and vg create command is used to name the volume group. I'm going to use the lsblk command again, and here we can see that sda5 has been encrypted and the volume name is crypt LVM. After this, I'm going to create logical volumes under this volume group. First of all, I'm going to create swap volume and the space is 4G, which is double the size of my RAM. Then I will create a root volume and the size is 10 GB. Similarly, I'm going to create a separate partition for temp and the size is 4G. Then create var temp, var log and var log audit. In the end, I'm going to create the home partition and give rest of the size to this home partition. All the volumes are done. Use the lsblk command to see that all volumes have been created successfully. So to conclude, we created sda1 partition for boot using gparted and then sd2 partition for rest of the data. After creating these two partitions, I have encrypted the data partition with crypt setup. After encrypting the whole data partition, I have created logical volumes under that partition. System is now ready to install. Click on install to start the installation process. Select English, continue, then again continue. Click on something else and install now. Select the bootloader device dev SD. Now you can see all the volumes that I have created using the lv create command. we are going to format and mount all the partitions here. Select the home partition, click on change, select the ext4 partition type, tick the format partitions and select the mount point to be /home. Repeat the same process for root and select mount point to be /. For swap, we are going to select the swap area. In the end, do not forget to mount the boot partition ST1.